The House has passed a $1.3 trillion spending bill ahead of a looming government shutdown on Friday night. Democrats and Republicans came together to pass a 2,300-page bill that was delivered last night, and they voted on it today. Gosh, they read fast. The vote was 256 to 167. The Senate must now pass the bill, or the government's going to face its second shutdown of the year tomorrow night. The bill dramatically increases military spending, but does not include a permanent solution for the DACA program. President Trump has promised to sign it if the bill reaches his desk. For more on this, we turn to our political panel this evening. Civil rights attorney Robert Patillo is with us, and also conservative commentator Steve Malzberg. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. Well, you know, back in the Midwest, when it rains a lot, we call it a frog strangler. I guess on the East Coast, when you put in tariffs, and it's called a market destroyer. Steve, what happened today? I mean, if this is the tea leaves, this is not good. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, Evelyn Wood, where are you? Yeah, they all must have taken her speed reading course way back when. This bill, I don't really understand. 90 Republicans voted against it in the House. 90 Republicans. Not only does it not fully fund the wall, it hardly gives anything to the wall. A $1.6 billion for border security, and most of it for fencing, not for a wall. Planned Parenthood is funded. The EPA is fully funded, which Trump didn't want to happen either. There's so many things in here. You have the fixed NICS for background checks, but that was supposed to be accompanied by a right to carry concealed weapons across state lines. That's gone. Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell are, in my opinion, caving. They're rhinos, and they have to go. The Republican leadership, in this case, stinks.
Okay. Well, what about that, Robert Patillo? I mean, the bottom line here is that Democrats should never allow the Republicans to run a campaign again on the federal budget and the deficit and the debt and everything else. They have come to town and spent more money.
Well, as of today, the whole term fiscally conservative is dead in the water. The next time someone wants to talk about cutting Social Security, Medicare, social programs, that's dead in the water. Because if you can pass a $1.5 trillion tax break and then a $1.3 trillion budget with nobody paying for any of it, then that means you can afford to fund all the social programs. Yes, McConnell and Paul Ryan have caved, and Donald Trump is showing to be the most liberal president we've had in about probably 40 years at this point. Between tariffs, between the this omnibus spending bill, Donald Trump is doing everything we would want a Democratic president to do. So maybe that was his plan for making America great again.
I don't know if Larry Kudlow's had a cardiac, but one more day like this, he's going to be in cardiac arrest. This is, you know, Steve, this is not what he bargained for, and this is not what the fiscal conservatives want. So the question is, why would President Trump risk losing, which is a good economy compared to where we've been, with tariffs? What about that?
Well, you know, we've said all along, or he said all along, that the tariffs are basically something he could turn on and turn off like a faucet. He could he could exempt countries and then punish countries, and depending on how they treat us. You heard a conciliatory note from the Chinese, the soundbite from the Chinese government official that you heard in Manila's report saying, a trade war, we don't want everybody would lose. And then, of course, the hardline statement coming as Manila took to the podium for the report. So I don't know how this is going to work out with China. But Donald Trump, again, this is something, as you correctly alluded to, Ed, he campaigned on this. This is no surprise.
Robert, this is a Bernie Sanders mistake if it doesn't work, because this is exactly where Sanders was. Is this teaching the Democrats a lesson?
Well, frankly, Donald Trump is doing exactly what we have asked what unions have asked Democratic presidents to do from Clinton to Obama, which is put American workers first. Donald Trump is going after those middle American, formerly blue dog Democrats that used to exist. There's a huge swath of the Midwest and the Rust Belt which is cheering today at a president who is making sure to put American workers first, and that's at the expense of Wall Street, at the expense of the Gary Cohns and the Kudlows and the free marketers around the world. He is doing what is supporting the unions and American workers.
Robert, what happened to the Democrats on DACA? It was the last time there was a government shutdown, DACA was the biggest thing in the world. Now all of a sudden it's gone. What a political win for the Republicans, because this plays right into the hands of the presidents. They don't want DACA. What about that?
What the president is doing is making DACA a standalone issue. They've lost some of their negotiating power, but they got everything else they wanted in the budget, and they'll address DACA separately.
Okay. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Robert Patillo, Steve Malzberg. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you.